Greetings, this is Paul the Poke from paulthepoke.com. Today's topic, trend update, Sanhedrin issues temple tax, and today's February 1st, 2017. Scripture references out of Exodus 30, verses 13 through 16. This is what everyone who is numbered shall give, half a shekel according to the shekel of the sanctuary. The shekel is 20 gerahs. Half a shekel as a contribution to the Lord. Everyone who is numbered, from 20 years old and over, shall give the contribution to the Lord. The rich shall not pay more, and the poor shall not pay less than half shekel. When you give the contribution to the Lord to make atonement for yourselves, you shall take the atonement money from the sons of Israel, and shall give it for the services of the tent of meeting, that it may be a memorial for the sons of Israel before the Lord, to make atonement for yourselves. So for roughly it's been 2,000 years, and this is the first time the Sanhedrin has issued the call for a temple tax. And the tax is per the law, as we just read in Exodus 30. Now if you're 20 years or older, you owe 1/2 shekel to God. It doesn't matter how much money you have. There's no sliding tax scale with God. And the purpose of the money is maintenance for the temple. Now the Sanhedrin has revived the law, or the mitzvah in the Hebrew, for the half shekel levy. Now that's equivalent to roughly $4 in today's world. And so the cause for the tax is to rebuild the temple. Now back in temple days, this was not a problem. Every Hebrew man was required to make 3 trips to Jerusalem every year for the God-appointed holidays. And the men could come to Jerusalem and pay the tax in person, no problem. Pay your half shekel at the door. But in today's world, a half shekel coin has been minted for the tax occasion for those in Israel. So they've made provision for those folks in Israel. They've minted a coin in Israel. But now, 21st century, we have Jews living outside of Israel. They're still dispersed throughout the world. Not every Jew lives in Israel. And it's the duty of every Jew to pay the tax, even if one does not live in Israel. But in September 2016, the Sanhedrin issued a medallion as a substitute for the half shekel tax. And the Sanhedrin issued the medallion because of the completion of a 50-year Jubilee cycle. And this was completed on Rosh Hashanah in 2016. It would have been the beginning of their civil new year. 2 calendars in Israel, one civil, one religious, and this was the civil calendar. Now the most recent Jubilee that was proclaimed by the Sanhedrin was proclaimed illegally. Now, per the law, the Jubilee year is to be proclaimed on the Day of Atonement, one of God's fall appointments, and this is during the month of Tishri. The Sanhedrin made the call in July of 2016. Now, the Gregorian month of July is not consistent with the 7th Hebrew month of Tishri. And the statute for that is Leviticus 25, verse 10. Then you shall sound the loud trumpet on the 10th day of the 7th month. On the Day of Atonement you shall sound the trumpet throughout all your land. That's when the Jubilee is proclaimed. Now I'm just an outside observer, but there seems to be a little latitude taken by the Sanhedrin with the law and dates regarding the matter of the Jubilee Proclamation. It was proclaimed illegally by the, quote, head governing body in Israel. Just saying. And this is a quote from Rabbi Hillel Weiss, and he's a spokesman for the Sanhedrin. The half shekel was a tax intended to be used for a specific purpose. As such, it was dynamic and not simply stored away. As the preparations for the temple move forward, the need for that tax is re-emerging. The medallion itself is not sanctified to the temple, but any money raised by the medallion is sanctified and cannot be used for any other purpose. And again, that's Rabbi Hillel Weiss, and he's a spokesperson of the Sanhedrin. So they've got all these laws and statutes in regards to what kind of money can be set aside for the temple. Is it sanctified for the temple? Is it not sanctified for the temple? You can look into that. I have a link for the article. Makes my head hurt, but you guys might find it interesting. And if you guys don't think they're serious about this, the Sanhedrin is looking into ways to reinstitute the 3 yearly trips. You know, everybody make a road trip to Jerusalem 3 times a year on God's appointed holidays per the Mosaic law. These folks they have a cause and they're trying to make it happen. And you can check that out, Exodus 23, introduction in verse 14. 3 times a year you shall celebrate a feast to me. That's God talking. Then lays out the 3 laws, one in the spring, Feast of Weeks, Shavuot, and one in the fall, Day of Atonement. If you're interested, please feel free to check out paulthepoke.com. Keyword Sanhedrin, temple tax. Trend update. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. Bye.